It's a beautiful day on the Siena College campus. You ran out of food in your townhouse, so you decide to drive down to Price Chopper to restock your fridge. The windows are down, the music is blasting, you don't have a single care in the world. Suddenly, your phone vibrates. You get a text message. You tell yourself again and again, I'm not going to check my phone, but it's almost impossible to resist the urge, and you pick up your phone and you text the person back. You have failed to think about the law you're breaking and the harm that your actions can cause. Texting while driving is very dangerous, and despite the constant reinforcement, it happens all the time. When you're behind the wheel, you should not text and drive. Although texting while driving is illegal, people still do it for many reasons. One of the first is the ease and comfort that drug manufacturers provide drivers. People kind of feel a sense that once they get inside their car, they're in a bubble and they're separate from the outside of the world, nothing bad can happen to them. People also feel a constant connection with social media and their social lives. They feel that if they don't check their text messages right away, they're wondering who's trying to contact them. If they don't respond to a text right away, they're wondering, am I keeping the person on the other end waiting? And another reason why people text and drive is because it's not seen as being a very big issue. In fact, 77% of young adults are very or somewhat confident that they can safely text and drive, which is kind of a huge number. If people don't realize that it's an issue, how are we going to go about solving it? Not to mention, people justify texting and driving by coming up with excuses. They might say, but my parents do it, so it's okay if I do it. Or reading a text is safer than typing or sending one. But I only text at stop signs and red lights, which is a really common one. And one of the last excuses that people give is that I hold my. Okay, some of the consequences of texting and driving are that you can get your license suspended, you can empty your wallet, and it can result in injury and death for yourself, or even worse, for others. Texting while driving is currently banned in 39 states, New York State being one of them. New York law forbids any use of a mobile device for reading, typing, or sending a text message while driving. And as a result of texting and driving, if you're caught, you can receive 3 driver penalty points. For those of you who don't know what that is, according to the DMV website, it's a system where they issue points on your license for different types of traffic violations, texting and driving obviously being one of them. You can also, if you get 11 points within a year-and-a-half time span, you can get your license taken away. You can also get a $150 maximum fine in New York, and you can get up to $500 fines in other states, and you can also go to prison. Texting while driving can obviously cause harm to yourself and to others. Just a few statistics on texting and driving. Those who text and drive are 23 times more likely to get in a car accident. Their reaction time decreases by 35%, and their steering capacity goes down a tremendous 91%. For those of you who know who Peter Frampton is, he's a musician who a lot of your parents probably listen to. This summer, he was involved in a texting while driving incident where a lady hit his car because she was texting and driving, and he tweeted complaining about it, and he got back and neck injuries because of it. And I just thought this was important because it kind of put a celebrity face behind the growing problem of texting and driving. Although there's a law against texting and driving, clearly something isn't working and more actions should be taken. Just a few ways that we can solve texting and driving is we can turn off our cell phones before entering the car, or we can turn it on silent, or put it in the back seat so we're not tempted to grab it and check our phones. Also, we could make the laws stricter. We could raise anti-texting and driving awareness. And a more recent solution to not text and drive is to jam the driver's cell signal, which actually would make it completely impossible to text and drive. It's actually against the law, though, to jam the cell signal, which kind of seems contradictory. I have a video. It's in French, but there's English subtitles, but they did a project in Belgium where they tried to trick teen drivers into thinking that in order to pass their road tests, they would have to be able to successfully text and drive, like in a closed course. And It's kind of like a humorous movie, but it shows that one way to convince teenagers not to text and drive is to prove to them that it's not okay.
Il y a une autre décision qui vient de tomber, je ne sais pas si tu es au courant, il y a toutes des mesures au niveau sécurité routière qui vont être prises. On va au contraire obliger les gens à savoir utiliser un GSM en conduisant. Dans le permis maintenant, on va devoir passer à un test GSM. Tu dois pouvoir envoyer un SMS et éviter un obstacle, et passer à côté.
Oh putain!
Ah oui, c'est pas moi qui l'ai inventé, tu peux regarder ici, voilà.
Il y en a beaucoup qui vont se cracher avec ça, je te dis ça.
Je vais à croire, hein. Voilà, ton GSM, je vais chercher les frites. Regarde tout ce qu'on s'en va.
Ah oui.
Oh là là, nous rentrerons en retard ce soir. Et attention que je corrige les fautes après, hein. Regarde comment tu m'as écrit, Nicole. Oh là.
Oh, c'est impossible.
Ah, je suis de retour ce soir. Oh, ben là, là, ça me prenait, hein. Bon, t'imagines, ça c'était à l'enfant. Vas-y. 443.
Honnêtement, j'ai l'impression d'être un connard qui ne sait pas du tout conduire.
Voilà, exactement.
J'ai écrit n'importe quoi. Hein.
Tu n'auras pas ton permis, moi, je serai
À cause de ça,
ouais.
bah, c'est dangereux ce que vous faites.
Si la loi passe, je roule plus.
Non. Tu tournes, oui, mais... Regarde ta route.
Non, mais j'arrive pas. Hein.
Il va y avoir des tués.
Il va y avoir des tués, hein.
Il va y avoir des morts sur les routes.
Je sais pas.
So why do we text and drive? We text and drive because we feel safe. We text and drive because we are constantly attached to our cell phones. We believe that nothing bad can ever happen to us. However, it can. It's illegal, but it's still a major problem in our society today. You must force yourself not to text and drive. Think of what's more important, the text message or your life. Does anyone have any questions?
So hands-free is like a really big thing now, and they encourage speakerphone or, you know, something that goes over your ear. But you see all the time people driving on the road with their phone on speakerphone, but they're still holding it next to their head or right in this general area. Have you read anything, or did people ever comment on that? It's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, I know that even that is not legal in Connecticut. Like, my dad always like turns his phone on speaker and like, or like uses the mobile, like not on hands-free devices, but those are not legal. I don't know what it's like in New York, but I don't think that's okay to do either. I feel like
Right.
that's the same kind of.
I mean, you might as well just hold it up to your head at that point.
Right.
So it's just kind of funny to see people doing that.
I agree.
One point that I just wanted to expand on maybe just a little bit. You talked about prison time, and that's obviously a deterrent. I assume that would only happen and evolve perhaps in the event of a fatality or something like that.
Yeah, I read an article. This Massachusetts teenager was involved in a texting and driving incident where he crashed into a man and he killed him. And as a result, he's going to spend a year and a half in prison. I think it said he had to do like 40 hours of community service, and he's getting his license taken away for 15 years. So obviously, the penalties are a lot worse. Like injury and death is involved, but.
I was in actually Cape Cod part of that summer, and that case was going on, and at that time, and that was going to kind of be a landmark decision with regard to that.
Yeah.
Whether or not they could prove he was texting, that was the whole issue, I think.
Right.
Anyway, thank you very much.